Yeah, we'll do it. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Belgium. Welcome to Rally Wervik. And we are here. Scrutineering is going on in the background, and very shortly we will go and have a look at the cars. But my name's Chris Morford. I'm with motorsport journalist Ian Harden. Ian, can you just give us a rundown on the format of the event?
Yeah, sure, Chris. Excuse my voice. It's the 46th edition of the Rally of Wervik. Obviously, it's based in the pretty little town of Wervik, which is not too far from Ypres. And it's organised by one of the longest running car clubs in Belgium. That's the Scrutineering Wervik. Clerk of the course as well, Philip Forrest. He has been around for many, many years, so always runs a good rally. Now, it's a round of the Flanders Regional Rally Championship and the Flanders International Rally Challenge, which is a very friendly little 7-round series of regional Belgian rallies, and it's specifically for drivers who are not Belgian. You can have a Belgian co-driver, but all the drivers must be Belgian.
Okay, thanks very much for that. And you earlier picked out 5 historic crews, 5 modern crews. Tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, it's a very good entry, 125 crews this year. Looking down the list in the historics, first person to look out for is Bram Fontaine. Now, he has a Volvo 244. Unusual car, but it makes him a fan's favourite. Large car, basically it's a large car thrown around by a very good driver. He's joined up again with his former co-driver Els Delver this year. He's been a Volvo specialist since 2006, and bearing in mind he's up against things like Fiesta R5s, he's got a best result on Rally van Wervik of 17th overall. Very, very impressive driver. If we move on, Paul Litar and Geert Valleys. Now, he's got an Opel Ascona 400. Paul is an absolute Belgian rallying legend. Belgian champion 1988, historic Belgian champion 2018, and importantly, an 11 times winner of the Rally of Wervik. The car, interestingly, formerly driven by Alistair Sutherland in the UK National Championship in 1985, and I believe this is the first time that that car has seen light of day since it was driven by Alistair. And he's swapped from an Opel Manta, which he's used to very good effect for many years. He's got that new Opel Ascona this year. Looking a bit further down, Peter Jan Meijert and Yves de Wolf, another Belgian historic champion from 2015. It's the first time at this rally, and it's also his first time at a BMW, because he has driven a Ford Escort Mark II, very smart one, for many years. Christophe Merleveder and Gillian van Dromme, one of the many drivers that use a BMW E30. It's Group A, full Group A spec. He is the Flanders Young Timer champion of 2015. Just to explain, Young Timer is like a classic class that fits in neatly between true historics and the modern cars. Very, very strong run of form this year. 2 historic wins this year in the Rally Le Touquet, very tough rally, and the Rally Pays du Lan, both in France. Top entries on both those rallies. Bjorn Seeks, Arie van Robays, right up at number 5, it's seeded at 5th in 125 cars. Perennial front runner in the historics. young driver, so why he went for historics could be a bit of a question, but then you look at his car, it's BMW E30, again full Group A spec, but it's built by Mats van den Brand in Holland, who is one of the absolute leading specialists in BMW setup, in building. He builds a brilliant car, and as I say, he's proved that the car's running well because he was 5th overall at the Monteberg Rally. The one that I would like to point out is Rick van Neuvenhuizen and Kenny Daru. They run a Ford Escort Mark II, and they're always there or thereabouts. It's the first time out with a BDA engine Escort, because normally he's an absolute giant killer in the historic classes with an old 8-valve Pinto powered car.
Because on Rally Salamander, that's the car he had out on that event.
That's right, yeah, he had the 8-valve Pinto, but when we were talking to him, he said that the BDA was just being completed and that he would have it out for Rally of Wervik. And we've seen the car, and it's looking a very smart car.
Okay, that's your pick of the historics. And let's talk through 5 of the moderns.
Okay, first one that I would like to pick is Chris de Buyser and Francois Hierland. Now they've got a Porsche 997 GT3. It's Chris's first time with a new co-driver, and he finished 2nd in a very competitive GT class at the TAC Rally in TL, just up the road from here. Stephen Dolphin, Niels Pierpoint, first rally of 2022 and the first with this new car, which is slightly different. It's an Opel Corsa Rally 4. And that's a considerable upgrade. Normally he runs an Opel Adam R2, so I expect him to go well. Patrick Sniers, now Belgian rally legend, 7 times Belgian champion, and 1994 European rally champion. He has a Porsche 997 GT3, and these are the most spectacular cars in Belgian rallying at the moment. The sound is epic, the speed is epic. The best way to describe them is that they are red raw in tooth and claw. They never just appear round a corner. They burst into vision, and they're just sideways everywhere, and it's a real driver's car, the Porsche 997. Okay, looking a bit further down, also in a Porsche 997, is Tour van den Apelen and Stien Stragier, Belgian historic champion in 2011. Newish car to him, but he's had 2 retirements this year at the Rally van Haspengouw and at the Rally Wallonie. And the last one I'd like to point out is Davy van Ester, one of Belgium's leading crews. He's got Chris Dallane in the co-driver's seat. They have a Citroën C3 Rally 2, and he's on an astonishing strong run at the moment because they've won the Rally Monteberg this year already, which they defended their title from 2021.
Okay, Ian, thanks very much for that. We'll keep an eye on all those cars over the course of tomorrow, and we'll just go and catch up with Wayne, who has moved nearer to the cars that are on their way into scrutineering.
So let's have a look, ladies and gentlemen, as we pan round the crews waiting to go into scrutineering. It may look slightly disorganised, but it's actually everybody has a pre-arranged time to come into Scrutineering, and because it is undercover as well, all the crews have to turn their engines off, and then they push the cars into the Scrutineering area. Just looking down at car 64, which is Martin Bruggeman and Wilhelm Roque. Very smart little Honda Civic. Not too many of them in Belgian rallying, but very smartly turned out. This is the thing with Belgian cars as well. A lot of time and effort goes in by the crews to make sure that they look absolutely smart. Very, very well put together little Honda Civic. So if we look further down, just looking over the top of Bruggeman and Roque's little Civic, we have one of the BMWs, and we will try and find out who he is. Okay. Car 74, which is Serge and Xenia Dumortier, from memory, brother and sister. And again, BMW, it's an E46, one of the more modern cars. There are a lot of these, there's a lot of BMWs, again, in Belgian rallying, but they are cheap, they're relatively cheap, they're reliable, and a good one, quite frankly, goes like stink. So, as I say, that is Serge and Xenia Dumortier. If we can move further on down, we will have a look at and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the sound of a 6-cylinder engine starting up. Now 63, so 63 is Christophe Blancart and Kevin Serter, Citroën Saxo, both members of the Autostal Atlantic car club, one of the big car clubs here in Belgium, excuse me. And just behind them is the lovely little Mini Cooper, and that is Levin Vinquier and Andy Calivart, again members of Autostal Atlantic. The crews further down the field are obviously competing for their own class wins and places, and it's always very, very competitive all the way down through, right from the little 1400s all the way up through the sort of the bigger, you know, the bigger classes. Now 56, let's have a look. Opel Kadett, 2 litre, so runs in class H3, and 56 is Danny Van Colly. Now Danny Van Colly is driving, and he is partnered by Thomas Geldof, and officially it's an Opel Kadett C GTE. As I say, 2 litre car, very smart, popular in Belgium, although they are getting slightly long in the tooth, but nevertheless a good one, well sorted, goes very, very well and is always up there in the classes. $70 is Olivier Herpelauer and Andreas Notabart. E46 BMW, and it's got the M3 pack on it, so very smart. Huge front brakes on it, dinner plate sized brakes, massive ones. Made by AP, which are obviously is very, very popular worldwide. Smart car. Amazing crowds here as well, just to come and look at the cars and look at scrutineering. Okay, 67. Let's have a look at the entry list. 67 is a Citroen Saxo, and this is Mitch van Oppelines with Diego de May. 62, very smart original Opel Manta, which is Steen de Grande and Frederic Legrand, members of the Scuderia Wervik club. And if you just pan down the line, there is a Ford Escort Mark II. And he's car 124. Now 124 is, as we just switch to one of the real Thunder Beasts, absolutely beautiful BMW 1 Series. Interesting way to carry your beer around, one of the most important things. Lug your beer into scrutineering on the back aerofoil. And car 52, was Matthias van Hey with Izzy Lamahe. It's BMW E87 apparently. Again, both of them from the Autostall Atlantic. Now, purely from memory, they have been a partnership, driver and co-driver, for probably about 6 or 7 years. As car 91. Now 91 is Ruben Vostine and Stephen Rambor, Subaru Impreza. Slightly freer regulations. I think they allow bigger turbo restrictors in Belgium. We would have to check. I would have to check that for accuracy.
Tell people when we're on tomorrow.
Okay. So as the cars continue to go in one by one into scrutineering, we will be live from stage 1 tomorrow, which will be the all-new Galuva